this video is actually going to be a smidge of a just whatever I've been doing in my life lately video. First I'll talk about reading a little bit, and then I'll talk about the interesting things that I think I have done lately. I have been reading a fair amount, but not quite as much as I was over the summer, and my reading taste kind of shifted a little bit. I wanted to like hang up in a little bit fiction for a time. But that doesn't mean I haven't been reading it, I've just been more slowly reading it. I was reading The Miniaturist, but it has an agenda, and I dislike agendas. I really do. It doesn't matter what kind of agenda, I dislike agendas. There's some different mindsets behind why you should write, and a fairly commonly shared one is that if you set out with a moral in mind, with an agenda, essentially. If you set out with either of those, a moral or an agenda, kind of the same thing, then it feels forced and it's not really enjoyable to read. However, the writing was good, and I was intrigued by part of the plot, so I'm a little sad because in the end, I was over it. I don't know. So anyway, I picked up The City of Ashes, the second in the Mortal Instruments series. I never really, I loved the realm of the first one, but I never really loved the writing. And you don't always have to read for the writing, you read for plot sometimes, or story, whatever. But, you know, still, maybe I was in my arrogant, I'm a writer phase when I read the first one. I don't even remember when I read it. It's so long ago that I don't remember some of the details, and I'm having to piece it together as I read the second one. But I'm in love with the second one. I would show it to you right now. I got the new edition with the fun, sketched looking spine, but I left it in my friend's car yesterday. Getting that tomorrow. It's a little sad. The other things I've been reading have been, like I said, nonfiction. I am going through this book called Total Truth. It's like a Christian philosophy book. It's really interesting. The girl who wrote it, what's her name? I can't remember her name. But anyway, she studied in Schaeffer's, basically the Oxford of Christian philosophy in the Swiss Alps, and they would just eat dinner and then discuss culture from multiple perspectives relating to the Swiss Alps while sitting looking at the Swiss Alps, being all scholarly and smart, and that just sounds like so much fun. I would have loved to be there. I mean, guys, I'm a nerd. Have I mentioned that before? Second things I'm reading are second and third thing I'm reading that's nonfiction are history books, which I also go through slowly. I actually have those beside me. Intermission to appreciate my Jamestown mug, another history thing. Got the fort here. It's beautiful. Decaf, or it's not decaf. Heaven forbid it's decaf in the morning. It is instant, though. I'm sorry if I've disappointed you with this, but it's easy, and sometimes I actually like the taste of instant. It's interesting. It might be a nostalgia thing. I'll explain that at one point in life, maybe. The nonfiction book I'm reading is The Birth of Britain, the first in a series of 4 books called A History of the English-Speaking Peoples. Well, it's the first volume. It's a very good writer, and it almost doesn't seem like you're reading a history book. The other book I'm reading, I've been reading for far too long, but I told myself I was definitely going to get through it now, because I have the time, and I'm not in school, and that's kind of been an excuse beforehand, but that is not an excuse anymore. And it is the Oxford History of Ancient Egypt. It's been sitting on my desk forever. And I love Egyptology, so why have I not read it? I don't know. I really don't know. So, anyway, I'm reading those things now. So on to the interesting things I think I've done lately. The first one, I played a pickup game of soccer. I think I might have given myself a stress fracture in my metatarsal on my foot. That's good, because I also climb, and you need to go up on tiptoes a lot. And that brings me to my second point. It is fall, and I can go to the mountains. I live near the Smokies, and it's just wonderful. I went on Saturday morning and I hiked Abrams Falls, and it felt like fall. Here's a bit of video from that. The water was a little low, but it was still wonderful to walk along the stream. The next day I went climbing at the Obed, which was great fun because it had been so long since I'd been climbing outside because I'm not a big like rope climber and I don't have a rope because that's like the big bucks or the gear for it. I mean, I have a harness, but that's about it. One day, but today is not that day. So I went bouldering and that was great. I flashed a 4, the first time I flashed a 4 outside. I got some threes, did a bit of repeat on a thing or two. I worked and got decently far on a 7 called Jackslat? Yeah. And it's kind of sketchy because there's this like rock like right there that you can fall into. So we always have like one person with their hand like sticking out like behind the head to be like, I got you. I got you.
Dual brush, man. Dual brush.
Always make friends on the trail, and we worked at this boulder called Transformer Boulder for a while. I was working a 5 on there. I think it was called Decepticon, and it has a move that I absolutely despise. This is the move. And then turns out one of the guys we met on the trails is a juggler and does like shows at Dollywood and stuff. So he is very enthusiastic and wanted to give us a little bit of a trickster performance, I suppose, and got up and did this.
Can everybody show me their 2 hands just like this, please? Thank you very much. All right, now everybody put up your left hand. Great, we got the left side. All right, now with your left hand, can everybody please make a thumbs up? Great. Now with your right hand, take your pointer finger and point to your thumb. Check your neighbor to make sure nobody's holding their thumb hostage. Rocky, pow, pow. You ready to shoot your thumb off? It's just one finger pointing to one thumb. Great. Now, this is going to take a little bit of practice, but I guarantee it will confuse your neighbors, upset your friends, and baffle your parents. Switch them and switch back. Go. Quick, tell you what. Switch and switch.
Oh.
Switch.
Yeah.
Switch. Everybody getting it?
I can do this with the phone.
Okay, that was a little bit complicated. It was, after all, 1, 2, 3, 4 whole fingers at the same time.
And believe it or not, that was actually incredibly difficult to do those little like finger trick things. Like it's like the, what is it, patting your head and rubbing your stomach. So another thing actually is my sister went to this con in Boston. It was like a writer and artist con. I can't really remember exactly what it was called. But you know, I like to share my artwork with you guys, and I love like nerdy artwork and cons and stuff like that. So this is it. Agents of the Realm online comic, and I've read some of it. I haven't finished it, but it's pretty good. It's kind of like a modern Sailor Moon, but they're at college, and I mean, it's so real though, so far. All of the things of just like meeting your roommate, and I'll just let you find out. Last but not least, a bit of business. I'm wanting to continue putting my book on YouTube as audio, but I'm going to take the video portion off. I'll work on it, guys. I'll work on it. That's pretty much it for now. I will talk to you later. Cheers.